Hey everybody, welcome to Active Self-Protection Extra. Got a fun one today. You guys know I only start talking about politics when it's directly Second Amendment related. But my friend Cheryl Todd, who is the owner here of azfirearms.com, this incredible gun shop we're in, but also the host of Gun Freedom Radio.
Say it right.
Go ahead.
Gun Freedom Radio.
Cheryl I want to talk about the Second Amendment and what this pandemic has done to the future of the gun control debate, because I think it's changed things. So let's talk about it. Nanook Professional Protective Cases are waterproof, shockproof, and dustproof. They're the cases I trust to protect my valuables when traveling. Cheryl, you've seen, obviously you guys own a gun store and you've seen the crazy surge the last couple of months. Insane levels of stuff. I walked in here today and I was surprised you had guns on the shelf.
Yeah, it has been such a boom. It's unbelievable. And what's different about this particular time, because we've been in business for about 15 years. We were about 2 years old when the first Obama presidency came into being. And of course, right away, it was a huge topic of conversation. Yep. Gun rights, gun control, Sandy Hook had just happened, all of that kind of stuff. And so there was a lot of people who are already gun owners running in, trying to buy the particular piece of equipment that they thought was going to be outlawed, namely the big black, scary.
I bought my first one when President Obama got reelected.
Yes. So that was the push at that time. And then throughout his presidency, there would be, that waxing and waning. It's been such an interesting experience to be a gun store owner. My husband and I are entrepreneurs, so we've owned several different businesses in the 35 years we've been married. And being in the gun business, one day you are, the patriot who is saving lives, and the next day you are the purveyor of death, because you sell guns. And
thinking about this, I misspoke. I said when he got reelected, it was 2008 when I bought my first AR, which was his first election.
His first one. So, you were in good company.
Yeah, me and everybody else.
There was a ton of people who were. And so through that roller coaster ride, most of the other rushes, they call them panic buys. I hate the word because it implies that people aren't using their rational minds as they're purchasing these tools that you need training and you want to be safe around. But these rushes, the panic buying, previous to the COVID buying, it generally was people who already had some guns and wanted to buy more guns.
Yeah.
With the COVID buying, we have seen more first-time, brand new people who are kind of still in a state of, trying to figure out, does it change something about their inner being that they are now...
Can I really be a gun owner?
Yes.
Because it's a political statement in their mind.
It is. And it's unfortunate that it has built up to that and has become that.
Why would a civil right become a political statement? Think about that for a minute.
Politics.
Yeah.
Awful. Yes. And so we've been seeing lots and lots of people that, they are brand new to it. Now, here's the upside to that. One thing is these tend to be very well-researched purchases. People have gotten on the Google machine. They've watched...
On the interwebs?
On the interwebs, they've watched the John Correa, right? They've come in and they have some concept about what kind of tool is the best for their use. And so they ask intelligent questions. There is no, wild-eyed panic necessarily going on.
It's more of a, okay, all right.
Here I am. I've got to do this.
I saw it in a couple waves. So I really think that March and early April were more, oh no, what's going to happen to our society? Is the world going to come crashing down around us? Then from about mid-April through really now, it's, are we going to defund the police?
Right.
Are we having rioting in our town?
Right.
Is there a significant problem? I'll tell you, President Trump spoke a mile from my house yesterday, and my wife looked at me and said, "We're going to be okay? Is there going to be some counter-protesting? Is bad stuff going to happen?" And
Seriously?
I go, I think we'll be all right. And it was fine. There was no challenges.
Thankfully.
But I think people are feeling that, and so they go, man, maybe I do need to own a gun. I can tell you as a firearms trainer, requests for training for me have gone through the roof. People are like, John, I bought this gun and I don't know how to use it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the range and do those things. So the anecdotes I'm hearing saying probably are maybe even around 75% of sales are to first-time gun owners. Any feel from you guys about how that's going?
I wouldn't say necessarily 75%, but definitely a large spike in that.
Okay.
And as I said, they're very somber-minded, right? Calm people, making wise decisions, asking intelligent questions. And what an absolute honor it has been for us as the proverbial corner mom and pop's gun shop. I mean, we're just a
We're here in old school Avondale,
yes,
right? You know?
yeah. What an honor for us to help people to make such an important purchase, such an important life decision, because we can also help them understand better, you know, when they do encounter the fact that, okay, so I'm filling out paperwork, I get that part, I'm doing a background check, I get that part. Oh wait, what do you mean NICS is down? What the heck is NICS?
Right.
Why is
Why
it
can't
down?
I buy a gun today? I need this.
I'm a responsible adult parent, you know, I'm a contributing moral
Law-abiding,
member
yeah.
of society. I can't just go home with this like I do any other thing I purchase. Helping them understand that there are laws that have been put in place that you may like, that you may not like, but just understand that we as citizens, we have a say in that every single time there's an election, and guess what? There's an election coming up.
Yep.
So we're helping people better understand their civic duty, their what the political angle is. Why is there a political angle? Like you were saying in the Bill of Rights, it's for everybody.
Right.
It should be a non-apolitical issue, but it has become a political football. And also the responsibility as an owner of this tool to get the training. And also to include your whole family in that training. It's not enough for just mom or just dad to have this thing. It's better to explain to the entire family what the tool is for, what it is not for, and you know, we've sold more safes than we have ever sold.
Hallelujah! I
Right?
love hearing that.
Ever in the 15 years that we have been here. And that to me is people really taking this responsibility seriously. I can't imagine a bigger honor than that.
And I think one of the things that I'm hearing from my left-leaning friends and family that are now getting into firearms, that are like, oh boy, is that discussion starting to change. That before, wait a minute, only the police should have guns. Now all of a sudden, wait a minute, we don't trust the police anymore.
Right, or where are they?
Or where are they? Or even if we do, they're not around.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I've said this before on the channel, last time I needed Phoenix PD code 3, I needed them hot, 26 minutes.
Oh.
Not because they didn't want to help, but
Right.
because they
They're
were too busy.
otherwise disposed, yes.
26 minutes. And you know, you're on your own.
Yeah.
And I think in our modern place, I think some people are worried about what I call forced, no, not just me, a lot of people call forced teaming. Well, now, okay, if I buy a gun, that means I have to adopt every other bit of a conservative ideology. And I go, no, you don't.
Right.
No, you don't. Just listen, this is a civil right, and you can be who you are.
Yes.
And listen, do you need to be able to keep your family safe? Yes, the cops ain't coming. They're
Right.
not going to be there to protect you in that moment, and now you kind of finally know that.
Right.
And that's a good thing, but you don't have to agree with me on everything else
Absolutely.
for me to help you on this. And I think the way to handle this right now is not to gotcha, not to go,
No.
whoa, but
No.
rather to go,
Please don't do
cool.
that to people.
Cool, I get it, and I totally understand that. Let me help you in that arena. Now we have this thing in common we can talk about, and that's cool. And now from maybe a place of understanding together, we can dialogue over some other issues. So what do you think the future, is that going to change the debate about gun control moving forward?
I can't believe that it won't, because there are so millions upon millions of people
Yeah.
who have stepped into this arena, had that experience at the counter where they're saying, wait, one lady said it was, oh gosh, I forget the word she used, but worse than embarrassing. She was humiliated. That's the word. It was humiliating to her that she felt like there was something defective about her, that she couldn't just take her purchase home with her.
And is that just because NICS was down?
NICS was down that particular day.
So if you don't understand that, that means the National Instant Criminal Background Check System is normally, if the system's working right, they either call or they can computer in, it says go or no go here in Arizona instantly, and then you file the paperwork and you have a nice day. But if the system's down, I can't pass a NICS check, I can't sell you the gun.
Right.
And that's not her problem, that's a
is-
federal government problem.
It is not. And she is someone who previously had felt like gun owners are a they. They're over there somewhere. I don't quite know what they're about. They seem a little weird and
weird.
fringy. And so it was a huge transformation for her to come around to owning a gun and then having this experience and having that feeling of, oh, my choices at the ballot box have done this to countless other people, and I don't want that to happen again to myself or to anyone else. So I do think that the conversation with gun control will have to have shifted. I would love to.
I don't think it's over because, you know,
No, they're never
politics.
gonna. It's their favorite ball of twine. These, you know, the people that hate gun rights, hate guns themselves. So I would love to be a fly on the wall in some of the, you know, like Every Town for Gun Safety meetings or the Moms Demand Action meetings, because they do have to re-strategize. Their messaging has got to be different than it ever was before to reach the people that they used to be able to just fear-monger them, right?
Yep.
And then they would go, or fringe us, and now they have to fashion it in some other way. Now I'll tell you something that is, I think, is completely tone deaf in the political arena. That during this time of COVID and during this time of millions of people coming to their local gun store and getting advice and help and purchasing this new self-defense tool, there are two bills that have been written, one in the House and one in the Senate. The House bill is 5717. I cannot remember the name of the Senate bill. Somebody out there knows, so type it in below, right?
Leave a comment.
But that one was authored by Elizabeth Warren, one of the people who was standing on the debate stage saying, I want to be your next president. And they have fuzzy, good, feel-good names. They're called like the Gun Safety Community, I don't know, Kumbaya bills. Both of them, I think, share the same name. But they list item by item the model, the make, not the serial number, but the model and make of every single gun that they think should be outlawed.
Oh boy.
It is the Clinton assault weapons ban on huge steroids. And there's all kinds of language in there where you can't possess a gun, like even touch it, unless you've had training. Well, how do you get training if you can't touch a gun?
Right.
So they catch you in these little word games. And so these were written at this time that millions of these people's constituents are realizing that we have to be our own immediate responder. So when it comes time for those to be, you know, the dust blown off and bring them for the vote, I can't help but believe that they're going to be met with a completely different ear and eye than they were before.
And in my opinion, right now especially, so we're having these real discussions in our communities and in our culture as America about what is the proper role of government, what's the proper role of the police, and how does all those work together? And to say right now, to somebody who feels like their voice is not heard, and to say, no, we're going to take away the means that you have of not being forced to do anything. See, to me, I always say, I carry a firearm because nobody can force me to do a thing, right? We have to agree to that. And my conservative friends, my right-leaning political friends have always said, no, firearm is the last bulwark against tyranny. And I think my non-conservative friends are kind of starting to hear that a little bit and go, no, wait a minute. At some point, if I'm scared of President Trump, if I'm scared of a right-leaning Congress, if I'm scared of the police, then at some level, and I'm not advocating violence against anybody, and I never have on either side. I don't think that's there. But I do think that something, you know, like here, we've got an AR-15, right? And that is the last bulwark against tyranny at some level. You know, they say we have several boxes from which liberty is protected, right? The ballot box.
The cartridge box.
The cartridge box. Is
and
another
the pine
one.
box.
And the pine box, exactly. So, you know, and my friends on other sides of the political spectrum would disagree with me about much else. Having that ability to defend yourself and to, at the end of all things, resist tyranny, I think is very, very important. So I think that it hopefully will change the way that we talk about these things. We all want a society that balances and it gives us freedom. We want a libertarian society that allows people to do that which they want to do, and at the same time doesn't unnecessarily endanger anybody in the process. So I hope it makes a difference, and I think we're going to be an interesting time where we see President Trump and former Vice President Biden having some debates about this, and I will be very interested to see how those debates go. Quite frankly, I think it's going to be just an absolute disaster, but you know, that's neither here nor there.
Well, God love them. Neither one is a great wordsmith. So it'll
well, and I wonder how that's going to go in terms of gun rights in those debates, and it'll be interesting to watch. So I'm interested what you guys think in the comments. is gun control going to be a part of the debates in the presidential election coming up? And is that going to be a platform of either party moving forward? I think it's an interesting one to talk about. Let's talk respectfully. Cheryl, I always appreciate you, and you always make me think. And man, thanks for the work you do, keeping us thinking about gun rights in America.
Thank you. I so appreciate the opportunity, and thank you for all that you do, because you help me guide people to where they can get some great safety tips and training tips from the privacy of even their cell phone.
Ain't nobody got to know.
Nobody's got to know. You can still be a closet gun owner, right?
It's really true. I know friends that are in that kind of community that they go, I'd never tell anybody that I own a gun, but
Yeah.
I do. Are you familiar with Professor David Yamane? Have you met Professor Yamane?
Yes.
I'd consider him a friend, and his blog Gun Culture 2.0 and Gun Curious.
Yes.
And he calls himself a card-carrying liberal gun owner.
Yes.
And him coming out in his academic environment that, yes, I'm a gun owner as a liberal and as a professor.
Yeah.
Whoo, scary for him,
Sure.
and scary for a lot of folks. So, guys, let's have a discussion about it in the comments, okay? But keep it nice.